Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we are finally window shopping for Polish Pickup Rewind. As I'm sure you know, Polish Pickup is a monthly pre-order marketplace. It takes place on the first weekend of every month. There's a ton of indie brands that participate, creating polishes or other hand and nail care products that follow the month's theme. And while the themes change from month to month, there are some months that have like recurring themes. So every July we get Rewind. And it's basically the most anticipated month for Polish Pickup because it's finally the time when the brands can bring back a popular fan favorite or fan voted on previous Polish Pickup shade. I'm also pretty sure that every brand brings back a secondary Polish Pickup shade, but that's only available in their respective shops. This video is only going to be window shopping on the Polish Pickup website directly because obviously there are so many other brands. It just would take too long to window shop everything that's coming back. As you can see, this is already a long video too, so let's just get into it. All right, so here is the website for Polish Pickup this month. It's going to be open from July 3rd through the 6th, and it looks like here we have a whole list of what's coming back. Never mind. Well, the good news is that I'm pretty sure I have seen a master list, like Excel sheet on Reddit, so I should have that in a pinned comment or something, or like in the description box. But anyway, let's just go into the nail polish anyway. That's kind of what we're here for. So starting with these first two rows, nothing is really jumping out at me personally. There are a couple of shades that are, looking familiar though. I would say the 1422, at least the base color, reminds me of Mooncat's Lust for Vengeance, which I still cannot believe that they retired. Obviously the main difference is that this has these like larger sort of silver flakes in there, but again, the base color at least is pretty similar, I would say, to that Mooncat if you're like really, missing it. Speaking of Mooncat, I could also kind of see the all mixed up looking a little bit like Flight of the Monarchs, or I imagine this is one that people would assume is similar. At least from that top right photo, the shimmer looks really like pink, right? Which Flight of the Monarchs does not look like that. So this is a little bit of a chameleon, depending on, if you have like a gel overlay or whatever base color underneath might sort of change how it looks. But in some angles or photos, it sort of looks like Flight of the Monarchs. But this does shift to like a green in extreme light, which, the Mooncat doesn't do. But this is so beautiful. Like, I don't remember if this caught my eye initially. This specific photo and this one too, I'm obsessed with. Like, if the polish looked like this all the time, I would be, yeah, we're getting it. I do like that it is shifty, but I don't know, in some of the other photos, I'm not like sold on it, so I can live without it. The alchemy lacquers is really stunning. I can't immediately think of something that this reminds me of, but at the same time, it just feels familiar, like we've seen this sort of combination before of this cyan shimmer against a purple base. Oh, and it looks like here they have the other polish, like the secondary polish, coming to their shop, Emotional Support Bunny Ears. And it looks like the pink sibling version, right? So, really cute, but yeah, just not, I don't know, it's just not really doing it for me. Then the Arcana, this one reminds me of Hollow Tacos Off the Grid, I think was the magnetic from the camp collection, or the camping or campground, something like that. It's a shame there's only this one photo here, but from what I remember, this is like pretty spot on. I would say maybe the red shimmer in this is like more noticeably red. In Hollow Taco, it's like a little softer, like almost a red pink color, if that makes sense. But with the combination against like the navy blue base and even like the iridescent flakes in the background, I feel like it is pretty close. And the Baroness, I was gonna say that bottom right photo looks like
a bee's knees, fine particle magnetic, but obviously based on the other photos where it's kind of this gold background, at least I'm not familiar with bee's knees catalog to that extent where I could say it looks like, a certain polish, but yeah, it's not really for me. So we can just move on to the next two rows. And from here, again, not really, anything calling out to me, which I know might sound crazy because there are some, at least like the main one that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about is the bee's knees, a lion with a thorn in its paw. If you remember my video from, I want to say it was last year, but honestly, it could have been 2 years ago at this point. I did a video on cult classics that I don't own, and this was one of them. Not to say it's like not a beautiful polish or something, like it is, but it's just one of those that I really don't think I would wear. I don't know if it's like the color or the finish. It just, I don't know, there's just something about it that I'm like, it's just not really for me. If anything, I feel like it kind of reminds me of the one glitter from Apocalypse's Fallout collection. I don't know if it was Fallout or if it was another one. There were a couple of blues in that lineup, but finish wise, it's like, something like that. I mean, at this point in time, I feel like we have seen this shimmer, hollow flake finish combination before. If anything, I would say this is, a little bit more of a unique shade of blue. It's kind of like a denim color, a little soft and muted, but still pretty and glowy with the shimmer. So again, it's a beautiful shade, but I can skip it. And as far as the rest of the shades here go, I mean, I know Ray was super excited about this Cadillacer coming back, Sky on Fire. To be fair, it did look so stunning on her, like hearing her enthusiasm, seeing it on her. I was like, okay, wait, maybe, I should look at this. And I was tempted for a hot second because, as I'm sure you can see, it has this beautiful like magenta leaning base color that I feel like we've been seeing a lot lately. It immediately reminds me of Morgan Taylor's Berry Juicy, which was their recent jelly, maybe even a little bit like Island Peas As If, but obviously both of those are missing these red hex glitters. And while it is a cool combination and I do like the contrast and it looks nice in the photos, I feel like it just wouldn't be a shade that I actually wear. I don't know, it's just one of those things because again, I'm loving this base color right now. It's just, I don't know, it's speaking to me this season. So I do like it for that reason, but I just know because of the glitters, I wouldn't wear it, but it is a really cool shade. The other ones don't really stand out to me, because they're just kind of shimmers, and I love a shimmer, but my point is that for PPU Rewind, shimmers are like on the easier side to dupe or recreate, I guess. So that's why I'm not like, okay, this is, a super wow, never before seen, whatever. At least, again, for me, because some of these colors are not really colors I would wear super often. I think the BCB Snap Crackle Pop, this kind of reminds me of a neon version of Mooncat's Apple of My Eye from their Surrealism collection years ago. I feel like it was one of their very first like retired polishes, and that Mooncat I do still have, but it's not the best formula. I have only tried one BCB before and it did have a really nice formula. So assuming they all have flawless formulas, this might be worth it if you're looking for that Mooncat but don't want to pay like $300 or whatever. Completely understandable. Then this might be a good option. If anything, I'm kind of more drawn to the secondary polish they're bringing back. This one is so stunning, but again, it's just, kind of a shimmer where we probably will see it again, I guess if anything, I'm not super crazy about the purple-ish shimmer in here, but it's just so gorgeous and glowy, but I also don't need it. And I kind of feel the same about this Beau Revs Toucan Tango. It's just such a perfect summer color and I love it for that reason, but I already have, summer oranges. Maybe not this shade exactly. I mean, this one doesn't say it's a neon specifically because, sometimes neons are kind of hard to capture the exact color. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like an orange that would be this shade. I mean, it's not really the same, I think, because what I'm thinking of is lighter, and that's Prison Parade's Watermelon Crush. I feel like this is a bit more orange than that, not to mention, this has shimmer in it. But yeah, it's pretty, but we can skip that. The Bluebird is reminding me of Mooncat's Pandemonium, which, as you might know, I already destashed because it's just not my shade of red. I wonder if it actually is maybe even somewhat close to Island Pea's Dear Santa, because I feel like there's something about the little shimmer particle that reminded me more of that. I think the Mooncat was more almost like metallic looking. But yeah, a shimmery red is a shimmery red, and I don't wear reds enough to warrant having like several, The only other one that I think is worth mentioning is Aqua Tofana, because I know this is like another super popular one. And again, it's a shame they only have the one photo, but I'm pretty sure like you could maybe see from the little cuticle area that this is like a super dark teal base color with this really vibrant purple to pink to red kind of shimmer. Immediately I'm thinking of Mooncat's Am I Everything You Fear, but that one's like more muted, I want to say, in comparison. I feel like this looks darker, more dramatic with the shimmer. I know Goodnight Polish also came out with one, but I don't remember what it was called. I'm pretty sure it's from the Spaceballs collection, if not maybe like an earlier release, but I feel like it was similar to Am I Everything You Fear, but just more intense with the shimmer. So I wonder if maybe that one is a little closer, although both the Goodnight and Mooncat have hollow in them, and this is just, a shimmer, so it's a little different in that way, but basically I can skip it. So that's pretty much it from here. The Broken Pixel is like the only one that I don't like, I can't think of a of a dupe for, so I don't even know. It's unfortunately in that sort of prugly territory where like I just don't have an extensive catalog for it. It does look kind of cool though. Like I do like how shifty and shimmery it is, but yeah, I just can't really think of anything that's familiar. So we can move on to the next two rows. Now from here, there's definitely a lot of really pretty shades. I would say the one that appeals to me the most maybe is Cuticula's Wake Me Up Inside. This literally just came out like 2 months ago, so it's just crazy to see how much of a bestseller it already is, and it's cool to see it again so soon. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little tempted because it is stunning. It's basically how I felt 2 months ago, where if anything it's more of this like FOMO aspect of, I know this is gorgeous, I know everybody else loves it, and it's stunning. Like I would love wearing this. Like I love deep blue magnetics. The blue flakes in here are super stunning. But yeah, like I said 2 months ago, the magnetic part reminds me of KB Shimmer's Azure Wish, although that has more of like a true black base. This is more of a deep navy base, but I feel like if you layer like a big chunky blue iridescent flake and maybe like, a blue jelly on top, it's pretty, like you can kind of recreate it, At least I would try that. So maybe I will. But yeah, it's gorgeous. The other magnetic here from Colores de Carol, A Dangerous Beauty, this one kind of reminds me of Drown My Demons because of like that teal color, but seeing some more photos, I don't know. I mean, it's like kind of like that, but then, it has more of the sparkle, at least from that top left photo. I would say that reminds me more of Island Pea's Enchantment, for example. So it's just like in that family, of just these tealy blue based with green or gold magnetic shimmers. And as I just mentioned, I have 2 of them, so I don't need another one. Then the Cleona next to that, Chrome Bob, I remember when this one came out. This one immediately reminded me of, I think it's called Lemon Spritzer. That's the pastel from Holo Taco, which I'm pretty sure is retired now. So this would be a good chance to get something like it if you were craving it, because I feel like it's the closest to that shade. And it's just a shade we don't see super often. Probably because it reminds a lot of people of like, you know, pee when you're super dehydrated. And, you know, I do love a yellow polish, but sometimes they can be like a little unflattering. So yeah, unfortunately, this one is not for me. Oh my God, the chameleon nails is it just me, or does this not look a little bit like the Alchemy? Not really. The Alchemy has a much finer like shimmer particle, right? The chameleon, you can just see it, it's more like speckly, if that makes sense. Like it's just a larger shimmer. I think this also might have like a glitter, yeah, silver reflective glitter and tiny silver holographic glitters. Why can't I speak? So it is, you know, a little different in that way. Super gorgeous though. I do remember when this one came out, this also was like a really popular one. You know, it's always going to be that, right? For any blue shimmer in a purple base, it's just a classic combination. So this is pretty, but I can also live without it. The cameo next to that, I want to say this is also reminding me of something. I don't know if I'm thinking of bee's knees. No, I feel like this is pretty different. Not to mention it has this like little shredded flake in there or something, but even like the base color, it's a little bit more muted than what I was thinking from the bee's knees, but I guess it could build up to be more green. It just depends on like, you know, the number of coats you do, the lighting, skin tone, all of that stuff. So it's pretty, but you know, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of green bases with pink shimmers are just not really for me. The cracked polish blood orange sangria, oh my God, this is stunning. I remember loving it when it came out because it's just, again, like that super hot, vibrant color that I'm especially craving right now. But this is, I'm pretty sure this is like a shimmer kind of polish, but yeah, it just sucks that we only have the one photo here. But as you can see from the photo, it's a very subtle shimmer, so that's why I was like, you know, yeah, I can kind of live without it. I don't know if it's similar to like the BCB or whatever it was that we saw before. I mean, I would say those are more glowy shimmers than this one, but this is a really beautiful base. Just from the base color alone, I could kind of see it being close to like Peep Toe maybe, which is, you know, just a cream. I would guess that this has a little bit more orange in it, but you know, it's hard to say, obviously, just based off of the one photo. And yeah, I think the only other one that reminds me of something is the Dom, where I was gonna say this looks like Mooncat's Deadly Nightshade, but this seems to have a much more blue toned purple base color. But yeah, with how like shifty the shimmer is, you know, even KB Shimmer's Hidden Potential, it's also really shifty, but I think this has a larger shimmer particle as well. So it's like, you know, a little different, but kind of in the same family. I think I would just call them cousins. Lastly, we might as well talk about the cupcake polish. I think the closest thermal that I'm thinking of is Sylvan Claw's Wilted Rose, which I really love that one. But if I remember correctly, that has more of like a purpley or like, you know, a blue toned leaning base color, at least in the warm state. Maybe the cold state, the color at the tips is a little bit more similar, but I think the Sylvan Claw is a little bit darker. So actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if Apocalypse has a thermal that's maybe similar to this, because they had the one, I think it was called Wednesday, that was a pink to pink thermal. Unfortunately, I feel like mine was really, I don't know if it was dead on arrival or just, you know, fading or whatever. So I feel like I didn't have a strong transition to begin with, so I can't remember exactly. But yeah, obviously I'm not really in the market to buy any thermals, so we can finally move on to page number 2. And from here, I would say the one that stands out to me the most, I remember loving this, was Glam Polish's Swift Wind. Oh, you know I love a cute little glitter. This color combination is so fun. I especially love it over that soft lavender. I'm pretty sure I said that exact same thing the first time around, but my biggest gripe is just how densely packed it is. Like, I'm assuming this is one coat and it's just so much glitter. It's like a little too much. I wish it was a little bit more sparse, but at the same time I do like it because I'm like, okay, this over, you know, a soft pastel, it's giving sprinkles, like, you know, birthday confetti. It's super, super cute, but at the same time, it's also just like a little too much for me. But like, I love the color combination. Do you know what I mean? Oh man, if it just had like 30% less glitter or flakes, I think I would be so much more tempted by it. And I also remember this Emily Damali Haunted Vibes because it immediately reminded me of Mooncat's Nocturne, although the biggest difference is like that background shimmer, where this has like an iridescent green sort of micro flake and Mooncat is a gold or copper. Either way, it's one of those colors, but it's like a metallic flake, so you know, it's a little different in that way. But the tealy sort of base with the copper magnetic, that is kind of giving Mooncat. The other magnetic here, oh, I remember this one, Garden Paths, I'm Beautiful, I'm Mad. I remember also loving this. The inspiration was like menstrual blood, right? Yeah, inspired by an image of menstrual blood under a microscope. I love it. But it also reminds me of Cirque's Paradox in a way, you know, which I already have. This does have an extra background shimmer, like a little red sparkle, which I'm obsessed with. But yeah, for me, it's just, you know, too similar, unfortunately. And the Dreamland, I would say that's probably giving, you know, familiar vibes, although I'm struggling to come up with something. But it being this like sort of purple micro glitter, I wonder if it's actually close to another Apocalypse shade, but I'm just again struggling on what it is. Like, I would say this is more glittery. It looks like it has a pink reflective glitter as well, so you know, it's like slightly different finish wise, but color wise I feel like we have seen it before. And then for their secondary polish, it's kind of like the tealy blue sibling version, which, you know, looks gorgeous. I do love a reflective, but this isn't really a color that I'm craving for my collection. So yeah, the other ones not really reminding me of anything or, you know, appealing to me. So we can move on to the next two rows. And from here, I know a lot of people are going to be excited about this Haunted coming back, Apparition. To be fair, it is beautiful. You know, in theory, right? I am obsessed with this. Ideally, it would be nice to just have it in my collection. I feel like I could see people saying that this is similar to like Cuticula's Fairy Core. I personally wouldn't say so because it seems to have more of like a, well, I mean, it does have a green shimmer, but I don't know, like the base color I think is a lot lighter, like more of this pastel lavender, or maybe it's just warmer. There's something about it that's just different. Where I would say that this reminds me more of Beesney's Doomicorn, for example. So, you know, if you missed out on that one, maybe this would be a better shade to get for like a replacement. But, you know, I already have Doomicorn. I have so many other shimmers like it, so I can live without this one, but it is super stunning. The only other one that's kind of giving a familiar vibe is the Jen & Berries, where the color combination, I mean, this is a lot darker, but it just kind of reminds me of a sibling polish of Holo Taco's Blue Rizzler, for example, or maybe in between that and Tanzanite Away. But again, this has like a larger like flake in there, so it's a little different, but just kind of in that vibe. And I already have those 2 Holo Tacos. So yeah, unfortunately the other ones are not speaking to me, not really giving familiar vibes. And I feel like they're generally like, you know, the shimmers, the Indie by Patty Lopez, the Hearts and Promises, they seem simple enough that we probably will see them again. So we can just move on now to the next 2 rows. Now from these 2 rows, okay, I know I was saying, oh, you know, shimmers or whatever, like we're gonna see them again. One shimmer that I feel like is a little bit more worth it is Kathleen & Co.'s Rosary P, just because this is one of those color combinations that we just really don't see that often. I literally just shared that in my short video, which I should have posted by now, but yeah, this is just such a stunning color. I mean, obviously coming from me, you know, I love brown polishes, I love red shimmers, so the way that this like marries both of them, it is so beautiful. So I would say, you know, if you are a brown polish lover, this is such a fantastic shade. It is so gorgeous. The secondary polish that they're bringing back, what is this one? Does it say here? Haunted AF. Okay. It looks so cool. I mean, obviously this is like a very extreme, you know, angle of the shimmer. I think head on it's closer to like this indigo color. So it is really cool in that way, but not really a shade that I would wear super often myself. But it would be so cool for like Halloween. So, you know, if you're like a spooky girl, this is probably more your speed, right? But yeah, that is stunning, but you know, just not for me. Another one I really love, the KB Shimmer. Lay One on Me. You already know how I feel about these kind of orangey corals. The shimmer in here, I don't really care so much that it's a glow in the dark. I know some people it's like an immediate turn off. For me, I'm like, oh my god, that's fun, because I always forget that a polish is glow in the dark. So, you know, it's cute, but the color itself, like, this could easily be on my summer favorite swatch wheel. I would say though, the closest shade that I have to this maybe is KB Shimmer's Flip Out. I would say this is definitely more buildable, right? Like a crelly kind of base. Flip Out is definitely a lot more sheer, a little bit more maybe peachy in color or something. Obviously kind of a different shimmer as well, but yeah, I love that one. I could stare at it forever. Ooh, speaking of glowy shimmers, the Lemming Lacquer, All I Really Want. I was gonna say initially the Cobalt Shimmer was giving Fauve's Melancholy, which is like one of the bluest blues to have ever blued, but that's like fully blue. This one has a purple base, so you know, it's like a little bit more indigo, but I feel like honestly layering Melancholy over a Holo Taco's Indigo Away, for example, I feel like that would look really close. It looks so cool matte though. But yeah, the shimmer, especially like in this photo, like in some of the photos, it looks so like almost like eye searing. Then the Lumen Space Cloud, I feel like this kind of looks like the Haunted. I feel like I just saw on Reddit as well somebody asking, you know, for some more photos of this Lumen, because they found a photo on social media and they're like, wait, like, is this the same polish? And basically, you know, how it looks under studio lighting, it just looks a lot better apparently compared to like people's swatches. So yeah, I'm not super tempted by this one. I haven't heard the same about the Haunted, and again, like, these do look like nearly identical color wise, but yeah, just, you know, something to be wary of, I guess, with Lumen. And their secondary polish, oh my god, I want to say this reminds me of a Kathleen & Co. from their winter collection, because they came out with a couple of multi-chrome shimmers. I unfortunately don't remember the names of them, but I could have sworn there was one that sort of looked like this. So hopefully I'll be able to find a swatch photo of it, or at least like reference my video. But yeah, as far as it going from like, you know, a red to green, I feel like that is sort of familiar. And the only other one that I really love from here is the Linby Designs. Obviously not gonna get it because it is a thermal, I love that it's like a thermal UV polish though, because you're getting like, I was gonna say 4-in-1, but looking at the tip colors, those two are pretty similar. The bigger difference is, in the hot state, right? But I just love the color combinations. Just so beautiful. The top half here, this one is reminding me of Holo Taco's Deeply Superficial, I think it was called, from the thermal anniversary collection a few years ago. But the bottom half, I'm assuming, is the UV aspect. And I mean, honestly, the base, in the warm state, it almost reminds me of Alchemy's Water Lily, but the flakies in this are much more colorful, so it's still different enough. But yeah, it's just so pretty. It's just giving opalescent vibes. Oh my god, I love it. But I'm not gonna get it. So yeah, we can just move on now to page number 3 finally. And from here, I do remember the Nailed It. I'm pretty sure this is a UV and not a thermal. Yeah, it's a solar UV polish. Super cute color combination. Though I could have sworn, didn't we see one a few months ago and people were saying oh, isn't that just this one, or you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I've just heard that though. I remember reading that in some comments that Nailed It has been putting out thermal or solars that are practically the same. The only other recent one that I'm thinking of is, oh my god, what is it called? Wish Upon a Starlight, I think. But that's a pink to purple. This is so different from that, but yeah, it's still cute, a cute combination, but not my favorite personally. The Moth and Moon Unintelligible Screaming, I am obsessed with the name. This one is immediately reminding me of KB Shimmer's Of Quartz, which is a reflective glitter. I don't think this is a reflective. Oh, it does have silver reflective glitter, but there's also additional kind of stuff, right? The green, gold, copper, and hollow shimmers. The KB shimmer just has a greenish shimmer, I want to say. There's no copper in there, so maybe this is a little bit more sparkly or colorful, but for the most part, it kind of looks like that. Then the Paint It Pretty polish, this is looking like the one thermal that just came out from Holo Taco, or not just, but from the Garden Variety collection. I think it was called Sprout of Control. But this is also a magnetic, and it looks like a very subtle magnetic too. I could barely see that line. So, if you're not into subtle magnetics, I don't know how worth it would be. This is probably one that I would definitely, you should always look up swatch videos, to see how a polish applies, how it looks in motion. But yeah, I would say this is a polish to get more for the thermal aspect than the magnetic. And the only other one I really remember loving when it, first came out was the Nothing Basic Holy Arrow, especially this photo, because, admittedly, some of the other photos don't look as exciting. And I'm assuming it's because this is in a brighter light, although it could just be flash because, this is a natural, indirect sort of not low lighting, but just a more indirect light where it's more diffused. This kind of looks more like direct sun, so it's just such a beautiful shade of blue. I love the color contrast with the shimmer. Kind of reminds me of Holo Taco's Blue Rizzler as well, which I feel is what I said last time. Pretty shade, super pretty, but I just don't need more than one of those blues. So yeah, we can just move on now to the next 2 rows. And from here, oh my god, wait, why do I already have it in in my wish list? It was not supposed to be in there, but we're gonna add it because I know I was literally saying throughout the video, shimmers are whatever, they're a dime a dozen, we're gonna see them again. I'm a fool, okay? I can recognize that. When I tell you that I don't even know what happened actually, so I can't exactly tell you, but I remember when this first was coming out or whatever for the window shopping, I was obsessed with it, and I was like, okay guys, I think I'm gonna get this one, right? It's so beautiful, so up my alley. I feel like somebody commented saying, oh, but isn't this really similar to, Cuticula's Fairy Core or something? And I was like, oh man, yeah, like I didn't even think of that. But then pulling out Fairy Core and, you know, seeing the photos, I was like, you know, yeah, I see it. Or maybe it was another polish, because even now I'm like, I don't really see Fairy Core because this has such a stronger yellow shimmer color head on. So it's different in my mind. But basically, I just remember seeing somebody say it looks similar to something else, and I kind of talked myself out of it. And then I regretted it. I was like, I should have just gotten it. I should have seen for myself. How similar is it really? But yeah, what's crazy is that, you know, some of these photos, like it looks a little bit more of that purple kind of base, super glowy and chromy, especially under lower lighting. Obviously the lighting here, it's kind of like pinky and stuff. So, you know, not the most accurate here. But in these photos, you can tell that it's a bit more blue. So now this kind of makes me think, I wonder if it's closer to Cuticula's Bubble Core, which I am going to be picking up because I cannot help myself. So, you know, am I going to be duping myself? Maybe. But I would rather know for sure by testing it on myself. So yeah, I am going to have this on my wish list. It's for sure coming home with me. Other than that, I'm not really craving anything else, which I know again might sound crazy because yes, I am aware Polish for Days Goblins and Ghoulies is coming back. I feel like this might be the second time they brought it back. And look, it's just, there's nothing against this polish. It's just not for me. I just can recognize this is one of those shades of purple that I just don't really wear. I feel like I sort of got my fix of it with Linby's Tentacool, which was a polish pickup shade as well. I got it, you know, because I was like, okay, well, I missed out on Goblins and Ghoulies and I don't really want that specific one. I feel like Tentacool is close enough. And, you know, I gave it a shot, right? But it just didn't really do it for me. And I know I've mentioned before, there's so many purple bases with a blue shimmer. I know there are people who say, like, this is the best one because the shimmer is so incredibly glowy. I'm not taking anything away from that. I believe them. But I've also heard that people say, you know, their bottles of this has like an awful formula. It's really goopy. Granted, that can be fixed with some thinner. Also, oh my god, wait, is this like a little teapot ring? How freaking cute is that? Sorry. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a stunning shade, but I feel like it's similar enough that we'll see it again. And I just personally don't wear this kind of shimmer. You know, like a perfect example, the pie colors. Yes, I do have quite a few shimmers similar to it, but because I wear that more often, I'm like, what's one more, you know? But the Polish for Days, it's totally different. If anything, I'm actually more drawn to the one that they're bringing back in their own shop called In Bloom. Love that color. So beautiful. It's another one that I'm like, that would be perfect on my summer favorites wheel, which like I know I already shared at this point, but I'm just saying it's like, it's that same kind of shade that I'm just craving for the season. So I really like that. It's a shame that, you know, there's just the one photo on here, but it makes sense because, you know, it's their shop. So I'm gonna have to look up some more swatches of it just to see, because from here, you know, it does kind of look familiar. Like I probably have something along the lines of this color, and I don't exactly want to dupe myself with this one, even though it is, again, another shade similar to the pie that I do wear more often. But anyway, let's not get distracted from everything else. I'm actually not really drawn to anything. Like I think maybe the Penelope Loose Emotional Connection is like the one that calls to me the most, being this fine particle denim blue, sort of magnetic. I can also live without it, you know. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade, but not one that I feel like I need in my collection. And yeah, unfortunately the other ones not really giving familiar. I mean, maybe the Prism Parade is kind of like Island Peas, Flip Side, or whatever, one of the magnetics that has this color combination. So yeah, I can I can live without that. So let's just move on to the next 2 rows. And from here, I remember this Royally. This is the ass of a killer, Bella. The label, like, it's so perfect. It is so perfect. And I am kind of tempted by it, you know, I'm not gonna lie. It's just one of those perfect novelty kind of polishes, but I'm not really a Twilight fan like that. Like, I've only watched the first movie once. Maybe I'll watch the others this coming fall. But yeah, if I was like Nicole, for example, I would be getting 5 of these. I'm sure she already has this one. It's a perfect Twilight polish, but I just don't need it. And the only other ones that are kind of like standing out to me, I guess, are like the Ravenclaw called Fire Breather, where this reminds me of a non-magnetic version of Mooncat's Jasmine Dragon from their Avatar collab. You know, just the fiery, the flaky like vibe. It's so similar to that. So I don't need that one. And the Sassy Sauce, I remember this also being just so popular because it's a super vibrant shade. But again, I, don't really need like a ton of reds. Like, I already have enough reds and I don't wear them often enough to justify getting more, really. So yeah, I feel like to me this looks like a more neon version of Peep Toe, and with like a subtle kind of shimmer as well. Yeah, the other ones not really calling to me, not giving familiar. Actually, the Sassy Cats kind of looks like Mooncat's Elysian Fields, but I already have that. So yeah, we can move on finally to page number 4. I feel like I've been recording for forever, but from these first 2 rows, the Sylvan Claw, I remember this catching my eye initially because it's just so cool. I love the elements in here, like this navy charcoal gray base, the giant green iridescent flakes, the pink reflective glitter. It just kind of gives me like this spooky vibe. Yeah, this was from the Cute But Deadly theme from earlier this year. So I get that, and it's just so cool. Like, I love it, but I just, again, know that it's one of those polishes I would love to just have in my collection, but I wouldn't really wear it, but I know another polish, well, I don't know if it counts as a polish, but something else that caught my eye that I was like, okay, wait, I think I need this. And finally, I'm excited to finally try it. It's Cuticula's top coat. This is in the scent Vampire Blood, which has fruity strawberry top notes followed by citrus and jasmine with sweet raspberry and plum bottom notes. You're joking. Like, I'm gonna drink this. If you don't see videos from me in a few months, you'll know why. No, I'm kidding. I'm so excited to finally try out their top coat. I know I always say, I have a lot of top coats, and it is still true to an extent, but I did just finish a bottle because, I'll use top coats for like my swatch wheels and stuff and my swatches for videos. So I have been like going through them. So I feel like I'm allowed to like replenish with, one of my own choosing. So I'm very excited about that. And the Tyler's Trinkets Ghost Need Candy 2. This one is so cute. I'm sure so many people are going to be excited about this one as well because it was just the most popular one, and for good reason. It is adorable. It kicked off like this whole candy series from Tyler's own personal shop. Like, he's done these holiday versions with Elves Need Candy, Cupid Needs Candy. I'm pretty sure he did one for Mother's Day too, called Mothers Need Candy. It was just so cute. Like, I love the different combinations for the different holidays. So yeah, it's just super adorable. And since I already have it, I don't need to get it again. And yeah, unfortunately, the other polishes on the bottom row here aren't really calling to me. So lastly, we can just look at the hand and nail care section to see what scrub KB Shimmer is bringing. Oh, actually, before we get to the scrub, this Haunted, oh my gosh, it's so good. I remember like reading the description where it's like, oh, strawberry bonbons and like, you know, this other apple blossom. It's so yummy. I've barely made a dent in it because it's like, first of all, it's beautiful. I'm like, I never want to use this because it smells so good. I just don't want it to go away. I know that's absurd. Don't do that, right? Because then that's how you get into like hoarding mentality and all of that. We don't want that. We want to use the things we buy, enjoy them. If you really love your cuticle oils and you use them, you are gonna love this. This scent is so good. Oh my god. I just needed to mention that. But as far as the KB Shimmer Scrub goes, it's pineapple passion fruit, which sounds yummy. I mean, obviously very tempting for the summer. Let me see, it says sweet passion fruit, a bright scent of pineapple, a hint of pink guava, adds a finishing touch. So, you know, it's like, it's cute, it's summery. I do like passion fruit. I'm not super crazy about guava, and pineapple's like okay, like I prefer mango. So you know, I'm only tempted by this just because it's for summer. But I'm not sure. I need to double check my bathroom cabinet because I'm still finishing up, you know, one of my scrubs right now, and I'm trying to think of like, what do I have next? You know, because I have a few. Some of them are fall scents, so I could save them for, you know, a couple of months. So maybe I could get this one, but at least for now, let me just not put it in my wish list and see what I have. Wait, what? Why do I have this shouldn't be here. Oh, is it because it was in my wish list like before? Maybe that's why. So, okay. My wish list just has 2 products. We have Pie Colors 1000 Stars and the Cuticula Top Coat in Vampire Blood.
So that wraps up my window shopping for Polish Pickup Rewind. As always, I would love to hear what you think about this month's offerings, what's coming back, or just what's on my wish list. I know it's small with just like the 2 polishes or products. I don't really know if I would count the top coat as like a polish. It obviously is, you know, something else I'm buying. But yeah, I just don't know where I fall on the scale of Nicole to Linry when it comes to adding essentials to your collection. But I think I am also gonna go back and add the KB Shimmer Scrub to my cart because, as you probably know, I love the KB Shimmer Scrubs, and for Rewind, they do bring back a lot of previous like PPU scented scrubs on their direct website. But unfortunately, I feel like the majority of them were sold out, or at least the ones that I was more interested in, especially for the summer kind of months. I think I would just rather add the one from the PPU shop and just try something new. But yeah, like I mentioned in the video, there are so many brands, like I'm pretty sure all of them, but I didn't double check, bring back a second polish in their own respective websites. And there's a big like Google Doc spreadsheet that has a list of everything. So I will have that in the description box down below. It even includes links to swatches of the polishes, mainly from Instagram from what I could tell. But if you've been watching my shorts videos, you know that I've been sharing a couple of my favorite previous PPU shades that are going to be coming back for Rewind this year. I know I already gushed about Kathleen & Co.'s Rosary P coming back, and I'm pretty sure I already shared Cuticula's Fairy Core and talked about that throughout this video as well. That is only going to be available on their website, along with Cracked Polish's Refraction, which I think I shared like Sunday or Monday just earlier this week. So it is a little bit of a shame because for some of these brands, they only ship domestically, but I did see that the spreadsheet, you know, that has everything, also includes links to stockists, so make sure you check that out just to see what is available. Another favorite that's coming back this year to their respective shop is Linby Designs Frosted Light. I want to say this came out like a couple of years ago at this point, and I think it came back for Rewind either last year or the year before, but it's another super gorgeous shimmery cornflower blue. It's pretty sheer, so kind of in line with like the other shimmers that I shared, which again, like I really like, but it's mainly the color that just has me swooning every time. I always love it, especially for the winter season. And yeah, as far as the other kind of secondary polishes coming back, the only one that I'm really tempted by, I think, is Polish for Days in Bloom. It just looks so beautiful. I feel like it makes sense, you know, it's just so up my alley, especially with what I'm craving this time of year. And while I'm on Polish for Days website, I did see that they are going to be bringing back the cherry cola dewdrops, which I'm just kind of tempted by. Like, I know I don't need more cuticle oil, but you know I also love doing a little matchy moment with my oil and my nails, so I'm just already envisioning using this oil while wearing Island Peas cherry cola, and it's just like, I just want that, you know? But I do actually really like the Polish for Days cuticle oil, so I don't have a problem with like rebuying it. I know for some other cuticle oil brands like that I've tried before, the scents are yummy, but then I don't end up loving the oil, so that's why I just kind of don't really buy them as often. But this one is a lot more tempting, so I think I am gonna buy like those two things from Polish for Days along with my PPU wish list. So yeah, make sure you let me know what's on your wish list, or if you are staying strong and skipping this month, I'd love to hear about it down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!